welcome to the final edition of the Insiders. I'm Danny Ventura. We have a championship helmet here from Tewksbury. We have a championship videographer who was too important to come in today, Bruce Lurch. So if we don't have Bruce here, this is the next best thing. Bruce is here. He'll probably never sound better than he will today. Saturday was Super Bowl Saturday, historic day. Well, the MIA wants me to make sure that we're calling it State Championship Saturday. We'll start out with Division I, Central Catholic. We had a great video by our producer, Erica Mora, who went up there and ripped me in front of all the people at Central Catholic, embarrassing me in front of my good friends up there. But that's okay. So it certainly didn't affect Central Catholic as they won the Division I State Championship, defeating Xaverian 34-17. DeAndre Drummond Mary, say that 3 times fast. It was a lot easier to say it than it was for Xaverian to tackle him. 119 yards, 3 touchdowns, certainly showed why he's going to UNH. Mike Milano, a couple touchdown passes, one going to Cody Demers, and I'll tell you what, if there's a kid, pound for pound, that's better than this kid in the state, go find him. We know why Coach A calls him one of his best players. Division II championship, Mansfield showed why they're the #1 team in the state, overcame 5 first-half turnovers to defeat St. John's 28-14. Miguel Villar Perez, 118 yards and a touchdown. Alex Ruddy, a pair of touchdown runs. But you got to be happy for someone like Mike Hirschman, 67 yards rushing, 77 receiving and a touchdown. He's a kid who's battled injuries on the basketball and football front for 2 years. So real happy to see him go out in a blaze of glory. Moving over to our friends here in Tewksbury, they capped off an undefeated season by defeating Plymouth South 42-14. James Sullivan, as he's been the case all season long, the star of the show, 125 yards, 3 touchdowns, and closed out the victory with a pick 6 late in the game. 42-14, they were able to slow down Dylan Oxen, the star running back for Plymouth South, a little bit in the second half. Moving over to Division IV, Dennis Yarmouth certainly gave Doherty all it could handle before succumbing 28-26. You saw Doherty had some real talented guys, starting with wide receiver Isaac Yadam, the BC recruit, 138 receiving yards and a touchdown. Luke Brennan was fantastic, throwing for 259 yards and 2 scores, and they had to be because Dennis Yarmouth made a great run in that fourth quarter, scored twice, had a chance to tie the game on a potential 2-pointer, but got stopped. Spencer Tyler ran for 99 yards and a couple of touchdowns, also threw a touchdown pass in that game. The school that probably hates me more than anyone, other than our producer Erica, would be Bishop Fenwick, who I've probably picked against every time this year and been proven wrong. They probably were no happier than was the case Saturday night, where they capped off an undefeated season by defeating Northbridge. Rufus Russians battled the injuries, came back, and certainly showed that why he's going to be a force to be reckoned with next year. 158 yards, 3 touchdowns. Nick Bona, I mean, what else can this kid do? Threw a touchdown pass. And for the mothers of the Bishop Fenwick players, please spare me for another season. We'll close it out with Division VI. It was the early bird special. Certainly saw that Cohasset is not a 9 a.m. football team. They fell behind 22-0, and it was an insurmountable deficit, falling to Littleton 52-35. Travis Bassett, what could you say? I mean, if there's a star of the day, this kid certainly was it for Littleton. 263 yards and 4 touchdowns. Also had a pick 6. It also overcame a great performance by Cohasset quarterback Shane Haggerty, who ran for 3 touchdowns and also threw for 207 yards. Well, that's going to do it. That was state championship Saturday. Glad we were there for all 6 games. Hope you read yesterday's coverage in the Boston Herald. And on behalf of Erica Mora and the guy who was too important to come in today, Danny Ventura, hope to see you probably next August, unless Erica has killed me by that point.